Hey everyone, happy Tuesday, happy election day. I am back with another Talk Real Estate Tuesdays. And we are going to go live, or I'm going to be going live every Tuesday moving forward to talk about random real estate topics. So if you're wondering who I am, if you haven't seen one of these before, last week in my premiere episode, I gave a little background about me, my who I am, my history with real estate, and all that good stuff. So if you're curious, go ahead and hop back and find that episode and watch that. But otherwise, we are going to go ahead and get started. So if you are watching live or if you end up watching later, say hi, drop down in the comments, hashtag replay, so I can kind of see who's here and who is checking these out. But let's go ahead and get going. So today, we are going to talk about what's on everybody's mind, and that is it still a good time to buy a home? Is it still a good time to buy real estate? Is real estate still a good investment? So before we get started, keep in mind that what is happening right now in the market is that the market is simply normalizing. Last summer 2021, and kind of that whole range of time, we were seeing really record low levels of inventory. There just weren't very many houses available. Now pair that with record low interest rates and a lot of demand for houses. Think back to your old high school or college econ classes. That's not very good combination where we have very low supply and very high demand. So the market got kind of out of whack, and now we're seeing that kind of come back to normal again. For example, there is currently over 3,000 listings on the Des Moines MLS, and even just earlier this April, there was only around 1,600. So we've made big gains in supply, and with those interest rates, we're seeing kind of some of the buyer demand. We're also going in, back down, and we're also seeing some of that typical cyclical downturn of demand when people get more busy with the school year and the holidays and things like that. So things are just kind of normalizing. Now, that brings me back to the question, is a home still a good investment? And I'm going to tell you, yes, it is. And we are going to explain using 4 different examples of what makes real estate a good investment, why buying a home is still a good investment. Now, I will preface that to say, as with anything, there always is kind of that it depends factors, and there's multiple things coming into play. But largely speaking, holding onto a house, owning a house and holding on to real estate long-term is a great investment, and that still remains the case today, despite what you might be hearing. So a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about are actually based off of an article I read on Forbes. I thought it did a really good job of explaining it. So we're going to go through 4 reasons why owning a home is still a really smart financial move for the large majority of people, okay? So number 1, owning real estate is a hedge against inflation. We all know what's going on with inflation right now. So what does that mean? Well, have you ever heard somebody say how $1 today is not worth the same as $1 a year from now? That's because we have inflation. That same dollar is not going to go as far in a year from now as it would go today. So it's a smart move to keep your money in assets and in things that are going to outpace that inflation, that they're going to appreciate or increase in value faster than that inflation is. And you know what? That's what real estate does. So historically, annualized average appreciation rates in real estate from 1928 to 2021 was 4.2%. Compare this to the inflation rate annualized over that same period from 1928 to 2021, and that was 3%. So what one is going up faster? The housing values are going up faster. Now, is there going to be years where that's not the case today? Yes, that is going to happen. In some years, there might be inflation going faster than home values going up. But if we're looking large scale, average, annualized historical numbers, housing prices are going to increase. Home values, I guess I should say, are going to increase faster than that inflation. So that is a good thing for you. to hedge against inflation. Number 2, equity. When you make that monthly mortgage payment, you are paying down the principal of your loan. So you are actually paying down that house, and if you pay it down long enough, you officially own that house and have paid it off. So if you compare that to renting, your rent money is not going to pay anything down. It's just going off into the wind, or I guess it is paying a mortgage, but it's paying for your landlord's mortgage. So keep that in mind, that when you're owning something, the biggest, or one of the biggest advantages is that you're paying off that principal over time. Each payment has a little bit of your payment going towards that principal, and you're paying that loan down. All right, that brings me to number 3. So you're paying down the principal. That's giving you equity in your home, but you're also getting equity in your home from the long-term appreciation. And this is really where the money maker is right here. So in addition to building that equity in your home from the principal, you're also gaining that appreciation. So what did we talk about before in that first example? That the average annualized appreciation from 1928 through 2021 is 4.2%. So if we use what's called the rule of 72, a rule of 72 is when you take the number 72, you divide it by the interest rate, and that tells you how long it will take you for that asset to double in value. Why does it work? I don't know. It just does. So if we use the rule of 72 and take 72 divided by that 4% annualized appreciation rate, you can expect your home to double in about 18 years. And it's really actually interesting because I applied this 4% appreciation to our own house we've lived in, what has it been, 10, 11 years? And it's about spot on, which I thought was actually like, oh, wow, I'm really telling you good stuff here. So if we use that, you can expect your home to double in 18 years. Okay, so I got a whiteboard here. Isn't this exciting? So we are going to look at how much money after that 18 years are you going to have in your house, because it's a great investment. So first of all, if you're paying down that mortgage loan, let's say you had a mortgage loan for $200,000. So you bought a house for $250,000. You put $50,000 down. So you have a loan for $200,000. We're going to say you're paying it off over 30 years at 6% interest. If you did that in year 18, we're just going to use year 18 as our example, you have paid roughly $78,000 off in principal. And I know if you're on Instagram, this is backwards, so sorry, I can't do anything about it. All right, so you've paid $78,000 off just in principal. Okay, that long-term appreciation, what did we say, in 18 years? It would double in value given that rule of 72. So if you bought it for $250,000 and it doubles in value, not only have you paid off $78,000 in principal, you've appreciated the value by $250,000. And then third, you might have forgot about this little piece, but remember when you bought the house, you put $50,000 in as a down payment. So this is all the money in the house right now. Excuse my kind of messy handwriting here. So if we add that all up, it comes to $378,000 in year 18. This is for a house that you bought for $250,000 using a mortgage loan. Now, because you've paid down the principal, we've seen that yearly appreciation add up over time, and also your down payment money's in there. This is how much your investment balance is in that house right now. If you were to sell that house, this is how much you can get out to apply to another house, put money down on another house, pay for another house outright, buy a house, buy an investment property, whatever you want to do with that money. But what other sort of assets and things with that little risk as owning a house, and also you're getting to live in it, are you able to recoup this much money in that amount of time? So that long-term appreciation, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. That's kind of the money maker right there. So that was number 3. Number 4, the last thing, is the tax benefits. So owning a home also comes with great tax benefits as well. You have your mortgage interest deduction and your property tax deduction. So what that means is you're able to deduct what those totals are off of your gross income that you report for taxes. So that means, you know, if you made $100,000 last year and you get to deduct that off, what your tax rate is what your tax percentage is calculated on is your adjusted gross income. So any deduction you can take lowers that income that you get to say you made. So if you made $100,000 and you get to subtract off your mortgage interest, you get to subtract off your property tax and whatever else deductions you have, that brings that amount of income that you are claiming on your taxes down. And a percent times 100,000 is going to be more than a percent times 80,000. So the lower that you can bring that gross income down for your tax reporting purposes, the better. And owning a house allows you to take those easy deductions. And then another thing is you have the capital gains exemption. So we just talked about all this money that you can make by just owning your house and just sitting there. This money that you've made, guess what? You don't have to pay taxes on the gains. You don't have to pay capital gains taxes on your primary residence. So that is a great thing about owning a house as well, if it's on your primary residence. And you know what? Even if you own an investment property, there's ways to avoid that capital gains tax as well through doing things like a 1031 exchange. That's a whole live for another day, but lots of great tax benefits for owning a home. So like I said, with so many great advantages, I would argue that and I mean this with all my heart, it is still a great time to purchase a home, especially if you're currently renting and you are financially able to do so. Then go and speak with a lender and see what the options are for you. If you are financially ready, this is kind of the number one thing to remember when it comes to buying real estate or buying a home, is the best time to do it is when you are financially ready to do it. Don't try to time the market. Don't try to chase the market, or you're going to be doing that forever. The best time to do it is when you are ready, instead of trying to play this gamble and game with guessing what the market's going to do. Because either way, if you are planning to live in that house for an extended period of time, you got gains coming your way. Trust me. If you're not planning on like selling it 6 months later, you're going to be all good. All right. So anyways, I hope that helped kind of maybe ease some of your worries, especially if you're someone that's new in the market and you are a first time buyer. I hope that helped kind of ease some of your worries, that really the best time to get into it is as soon as you're able to do so. Don't pump the brakes. Don't wait. Start really taking advantages of those 4 key benefits of home ownership that we just talked about. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. If you have questions or comments on the video, I would love to hear them. Please feel free to drop them below. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your Tuesday. Hopefully I wasn't too all over the place trying to Instagram and Facebook Live at the same time. They should really make that a little bit easier. Mark Zuckerberg, where are you at? But anyways, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will catch you next Tuesday. Bye.